Welcome everyone, Christine here on Serious Gaming with a video about Sellswords, Ashen Company, a game in early access which I've been given by the developer to play this version right now. As per the developer's own statement on the subject, what if you combined the third-person mode of Mount and Blade with the large-scale battles of Total War? This is his intent with this particular title, at least battle-wise. And obviously, as per the title, this is a game where you're playing a mercenary or a sellsword. It's in Unity engine, and it's a game being made by a single person, and obviously still fairly early in development. So there's a lot of bugs, glitches, as well as as well as a lot of incomplete things in the title. There are free maps right now available in the game, and the only mode is available that's available is the custom battle mode. So you've got the Praetorian Lands, the Voltanian Valley, and the Sectarian Desert. I'm gonna play in the Valley against Praetorium. I'm going to choose the color black and blue for the opponent so that it's easy to make the difference. You can customize your character. I've made mine over here look quite a bit like a Knight of Gondor in a sense, from the third Lord of the Rings movie. So when Faramir rides out to try and retake Osgiliath, his men look something very similar to this. It's obviously not perfect. They're the gauntlet. Like I looked at the tiny details, so like the boots are different, the gauntlets are different. All that. Obviously, the helm is also a bit different. But yeah, this is as close as you can get. And I've given my captain a big ass sword, so he's wielding I think is a claymore. I'm not entirely certain about it. Certainly a gigantic sword nonetheless. So you can customize your character, and that does affect your stats, your armor, the armor of your character, the speed of your character, all that. So looking back at it, the range of your weapon, the damage your weapon can do. And this is the army select screen. It really does remind you of Total War, doesn't it, for custom games? And now, being a mercenary captain, you do have access to units from all factions. So that's Praetorians, Voltanians, and Sectarians. Now, the Praetorians are like medieval types, medieval Europe types. The Voltanians are Vikings, and the Sectarians are like desert nomads in a sense. They are wielding, like they have scimitars, they have war clubs, all that. Kind of, I guess, a combination of like desert nomads with a bit of ancient barbarians thrown in there, really. So they have scimitars and they have war clubs or sandslayers. Now you only have access to infantry, no spear units at the moment. Well, there are some halberds in a sense, but no pikes. Pikes will be added in the next patch, so will cavalry, and also the ability of your captain to use a horse. So if you want to ride among your units, you'll have to wait for the next patch. Now here I'm going to make an army of 4 heavy swordsmen, 2 two-handed swordsmen, 1 royal guard, 1 huscarl unit, 2 two-handed axemen, 4 heavy axemen, 4. No. Okay, just gonna throw that. So as I said, a game made by one guy. And still in early access, so plenty of things that need to be worked on. Okay. So, maybe I kind of screwed that one up. And I'm just gonna delete these guys and give them instead longbowmen. Okay, armies, well, I mean, I slightly outnumber the enemy, but anyway, let's get to it. So this is all very basic, so are the controls right now, and since it's a game made by one guy, so is most of the game, really. But I think the concept really is a very interesting one, certainly something I've been interested in playing. Pretty big armies here, so certainly the scale of Total War, but the gameplay is not quite the same as in Total War. Now I'm going to move my archers over here. The front line will be composed of the heavy swordsmen, I'd say. Okay. So put those heavy swordsmen okay, these guys on the side. 2 units of semaphores on the one side with 1 heavy axeman unit and 3 heavy axeman units on the other side. This will give me some flanking opportunities, and then we have the Grey Leader, his giant gas claymore. You don't have any pre-battle deployments, you can just move your units around, or at least in this version I've seen plenty of things still made, still need to develop. It's nice though to see a battle that's this big, this large scale, and then can zoom out and just control your units. It's certainly a concept I've seen explored in some titles, but never really with great success. And in a sense, this is also what's appealing about Mount & Blade, but Mount & Blade never lives up to the scale that it could. Well, maybe the new one, whenever they release Bannerlord. So anyway, my archers are moving in. I will use my archers to target the enemy archers instead of doing anything special right there. And they should be able to handle that. They've eliminated a significant portion of the enemy front line, so let's take advantage of that. One of the things that I generally find ridiculous about a lot of strategy games is just how powerful archer units are. I mean, don't get me wrong. Historically speaking, archer units were certainly powerful, like archer formations, but they required, 1, significant numbers to be good. 2, obviously there was concern of ammunition, and they weren't as deadly as many games portray them to be. And that, when you add all of this up, it certainly creates an issue that I do have with a lot of them. So now you can see that these archer units are being quickly eliminated by my own. So I'll just start sending my infantry to flank around right here. Now obviously my general, you can't order your general around, you actually have to control it, so there is a pretty big emphasis on actually controlling your general. Any flashes I'm going over here. Pulling back those archers. Okay. Well, I guess they got stuck in a fight. Right, so I'm going to get myself stuck in. If you get knocked out, if you die, basically, you can still control your units. There is unlimited ammunition for your ranged units at the moment, and they're quite capable, as you saw, of doing quite a lot of damage. And one of the things I really do like is just, seeing the battle go in. So units They're not really fighting in a tight formation. That's both fine and it isn't. So one of the problems, one of the things about Total War certainly is the fact, one of the issues I do have is that Total War is a bit ridiculous in this respect. Like, it's very nice and choreographed and it's not messy at all. And the idea in Total War ultimately is getting, like, the goal, the way the pathfinding works in that particular title. Certainly I need to get the fuck out of here. Now, heavy attack in the middle mouse button, light attack with the left mouse button. Now I want to keep my general alive. Now what's the situation over here? Okay. Still some heavy fighting ongoing here. This unit has not been committed. These guys have been pretty much wiped out. Let's go in. Yeah, this is all very nice. What I'm seeing here. The kind of battle that I'm seeing here. I admit I'm not a fan of the blood splatter that you get when you hit an enemy unit. I'm more the kind of guy, like when it comes to blood, it is a beef I do have with Total War. When it comes to blood, I wish it was more realistic than this ridiculous spray, but at least it's not like Total War where it's like everyone's covered in blood and, you know, the moment they hit an enemy unit, it's like they get covered. Okay. So let's take a look. Battle's still ongoing. I'll just take a bit of refuge behind my royal guard over here. These guys really remind me of Baratheon soldiers from Game of Thrones. Which is, well, at least in terms of their armor. So battle going on. Some fighting over here. The enemy unit of royal guards, which certainly is still quite strong, is still putting up a pretty good fight. Things are not going as well as I would have liked. This unit still isn't engaged. Didn't I order them to get engaged? Anyway, Huskarls going in. It's nice to combat breaking off like this. Like, this is how a battle should feel. In fact, this is how many battles would end up working in, like, the older Total War series. Your units strewn about it, you know, the nice tidy formations you see these days. I think Creative Assembly has really lost their focus in the sense they focus too much on, you know, special abilities, heroes, all that, instead of focusing, like, how do we make battles feel spectacular? How do we make battles feel interesting instead of, oh, it's micro. General is still safe. I'll try and eliminate this unit of two-handed swordsmen. No friendly fire for the moment. Okay, hold on. Where are they? Trying to figure out that one. That guy is going strong, man. is here. There we go. Okay, with that. Let's send them into the Royal Guard. While I head over here to deal with the two-handed swordsmen that are still putting up a significant fight over there. Yeah, it's certainly a nice dynamic in battle, so you're winning on one side, and the enemy's pushing a bit on the other side, so you need to counter that. Certainly feels a lot more like a battle. Actually, this is also a problem in a bit Mountain Blade, certainly in Total War. It is it's an issue in Warfare. Like it's the issue that battles are not just about the continuous run. In fact, very few battles are like, oh, your enemy line against the your line against the enemy line, right? Things ebb and flow. Okay. You can parry. You can dodge. Taking out. Quite. I am pretty hurt over here, so I'm gonna pull back behind my guys. How many of them are still left? Alright, these guys have cleared the center. Let's see if my archers can eliminate these guys. The remainder of the enemy swordsmen. Assuming they get the shot off. So I think at some point, once, you know, a certain number of enemies are dead, once most of the enemy units actually are dead, that it becomes actually broken in some sense. Like the collision detection, in a sense, I guess, between or how units interact with one another just breaks down. And the fighting slows to a crawl. And your ranged units also have some issues getting those shots in. Hopefully they will manage in this situation. How many of them are left? One. Just that one guy, right? No, not even that guy. Right, so the remainder of my units here on the right flank are marching to open the center. Yeah, battle line's completely collapsed here. And it's just really a glorious, wonderful mess. Not quite realistic, not in many ways, obviously. Units are too spread out. Here, they have the opposite problem of what Total War has, whereas in Total War, things can get too compact. Things are too spread out over here. What? Okay, so there's some Royal Guards left. Through. What do we have left? So some swordsmen. Let's get closer then to the remainder of the fight. Lots of bodies on the ground. A lot of these fire corpses. Feels like an awesome mess. Yeah, if only blood was pulling from their bodies as... As the fighting, the more they sat there. Okay. Is there a few left? Is there a bit? That's it. Battle is won. I deployed 2,100 men. They deployed 2,200. I lost 1,700, close to 1,800. And they lost everyone. No morale system. Obviously something that should be worked on. Because one should understand this. In most pitch battles between very large armies, the casualties from the actual fighting, right, between units, at least infantry units, you know, shield wall versus shield wall, for instance, or swordsman versus swordsman, that kind of stuff. They weren't high. They were not very high, and they could last for quite a while. Most of the casualties would occur either, you know, during a flanking maneuver, and even then, most of the casualties occurred when one side broke and were run down, or in the aftermath of the battle, you know, wounds, all that. So a lot of games have this issue that, you know, even games where there's a morale system, this game doesn't have one yet. I imagine that one will be implemented. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. But a lot of titles do have this issue where casualties during an actual battle are very high. And on top of that, battles are very short. Like, for me, that battle in particular felt, you know, in this game, the battles feel grand in a sense, because the way the units fight against each other, the way they spread around, cohesion is lost. You have 100 different skirmishes. It goes on a bit too much. So the issue in this game is that there's probably a bit too much, you know, one-on-one action as opposed to actual units fighting together. Opposite issue of, I guess, what Total War has. I mean, Total War, you know, when say Rome 2 on launch, Total War had the problem of, they had these tight formations, but they also had basically one-on-one combat, you know, synced moves. I guess you could say this game is very much about synced moves, but individual soldiers are spread enough around that it actually kind of looks great, or feels a lot better than what Total War has done. But there needs to be formation fighting, right? That's certainly something that can be worked on. Unit responsiveness, collision detection, AI, all that. So plenty of things to work on. But the concept is a very interesting one. I like it. And, you know, if we had I don't much care for a grand campaign mode, honestly. I know people do, but for me, if you had a good, solid single-player campaign, a scripted campaign, that would also, or some a campaign with some liberty, but a linear one, that would certainly work as far as I'm concerned. So, Costine here on Serious Gaming, signing out. This was Sellswords, Ashen Company. Stay tuned for more. If you like my content, do consider supporting me via PayPal, Patreon, so I can continue making YouTube videos.